brought in the big guns.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Do you know who this is?
I don't think we've had the pleasure.
This is the Queen Slayer. The King Slayer, I should say.
Springfield.
It's a nice name to have. Oh, in Springfield. I thought your name was actually Kingslayer.
No,
nice to
no.
meet you. Marlo
Just-
Stanfield, multimillionaire extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Hi.
Son of
Jessica
Brian
Springfield 020. I'm the one that took down Bruce Baylor.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Well,
Did you take down Charles?
we don't
No
discuss those matters.
Yeah,
All right.
Black
So,
Ops.
it is December 4th, 2025, 5:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be Director Brian Knight, San Andreas State Marshals, call sign 0495. Jessica, go
Marlo
ahead.
Stanfield is my name.
And assisting is Jessica Springfield 020 of the San Andreas State Marshals.
I'm going to read your rights. You're not in trouble
Yeah,
or
that's
anything.
fine.
This is, in case you say some shit. At this time, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. You cannot afford an attorney. One will be provided for you by the state if one is available. Do you understand your rights as they've been read to you today?
Yes.
All right. I'm glad you came through. I've been meaning to speak to you on some of this topic, but I wanted you to kind of start from the top. So what's going on?
So you just want me to start from the top?
Yeah,
Opposed to
please.
what I came here for?
Yeah.
You want to know like everything I'm doing? Is that what you're saying?
That would be helpful. So this
Sure.
recording can also be used for our other auditors, marshals, etc., so they get a full grasp of things. Because
Yeah, just so you're aware as well. I did talk to Coyote as well, and he has a recording as well, just so you're aware.
very good.
I was brought in by Charles to do financial auditing of the businesses that have received grants. So I've been kind of going one by one, reaching out to businesses, requesting them to give us the bank transactions in relations to their grants, how they spent the money, in relation to like what they proposed. And I've been giving them as a convenience 3 days to provide it before posting it to the docket to request the documents per Grayson and Danielson. There have been a few that have provided bank records. There's been a few that have said they're gonna essentially just wait until being put on the docket, and then there's also been a few that have paid back the funds that they had. So people that received a grant didn't use the money and then paid it back essentially because they didn't use it. Now I wanted to come to you because Pred is telling me to just go to them instead, and I don't know if it's something I should be going to both of you, if I should just be going to one of you, who's like this falls under.
Going to us about what?
In regards to if there is, essentially he's wanting me to just share all of my findings to him, but if there are people that are in violation of the Bribes Act, where they have either misused funds, if they're still holding on to funds, if they've canceled events and not used the funds, if that should be going to just being put on the docket, or if it's something that you guys want to pursue, like, I guess, legal action on.
I mean, it kind of depends, right? It's hard to, in like broad strokes, SASM is very interested in any findings in the financial space, especially when it is tied to a mayoral office. I think the value sort of comes from two different places. Now, this is to say, if there's things you're discussing with Pred, by all means, right? I'm not going to get in the way of that. But SASM is in a sort of unique position where if there's any cross-jurisdictional issues, if there's potential matters that may go outside of the scope of local law enforcement, we can kind of tap into that. And then obviously we do have the expertise in SASM, given the recent cases on the docket post. So, we do have a formula, we do have the expertise, etc. So you might get some extra insurances with that, but without getting into specifics yet, we'd love to have that information.
Because one of the things, like, people, I'll just give you one of the examples. Let's see. So Seamus McCarthy, they had a business for geoforces where they received $3 million in funding and they never used it. So he ended up just sending it back to the state account. That's something that Pred is still wanting to essentially potentially file charges on, because he says since they didn't use the funds, that's fraud. If somebody still has the funds, they never use them, is that something you want to be made aware of, or should I just leave it alone?
I mean, look, it's so I'll kind of pose it like this, right? Any information about what could be potential wrongdoing or things pertaining to county or state funds, we very much want to be in the loop with it. So that, you know, it could tie to another one of our investigations, or we may find something that, you know, local PD just isn't equipped with, being able to look into, right? Like, so, and I'll give an example. Say, you know, you find potential wrongdoing, or let's say even if you don't find potential wrongdoing, let's, using your example, someone requests, I don't know, $10 million and you don't see anything coming of it. You use, you know, the tools that you legislatively have, you have available to you when it comes to auditing and all whatnot. You know, there's probably so many grants and businesses that, from like a bandwidth perspective, SASM's not going to be able to take it all, right?
Oh yeah, no.
And
one person that I saw that had 39 or 41
Sure.
requests for grants. Just
So-
one singular person.
it's you know, and so law enforcement in both county departments having knowledge of some of these things, individual detectives or law enforcement may see problems with it. SASA may view it from a different lens, right? So you know, there's
All right. Well,
yeah.
I only really have the ability to do this until the election, and then kind of seeing where that goes. So I guess at the end of that, I can give you everything that I have, unless there's something more like time pressing that needs to be addressed sooner.
Could you kind of, just for my own knowledge, like what like when you say the information I have, can I ask like what kind of information we're talking about?
So I've been given bank records by multiple businesses. So what I have, like, in what I'm keeping track of, is the dates in which people were given grants, and then like the bank transactions regarding those, like from their own business account or personal account,
Wait,
to basically make sure things match.
could you give me an example? So you've
So
got,
if
so you're
somebody was
talking
given $1
beyond
million,
just, yeah.
go ahead. Yeah, if somebody was given $1 million for a grant and they said we're spending $500,000 on vehicle retrofits, $300,000 on like redecoration of our office, $200,000 for like wages, I'm asking for bank records showing those expenses were actually paid for.
Gotcha. So you're using the auditing clause. You're saying, hey, we gave you this amount. You claimed you're using it on these things. Show me that you've made those transactions.
Exactly. Yeah.
Understood. No, that would be fantastic, because look, I understand that, you know, obviously you and the mayor's cabinet aren't going to want to see these things, you know, be used inappropriately.
Exactly.
And for us, we, you know, can kind of verify some of that, and there might be things that we see that you don't see.
Yeah, true.
May I ask, how have you been doing
you.
this process? Like, how does it work currently? Like, how have you been going about it?
I literally just look through the list, see the name, give them a call, and then kind of go from there.
Oh, the list of grants?
Yeah, the list of grants that I was given.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the mayor's office thought it was a good idea to not provide phone numbers for anybody that needs a grant, so I haven't been able to get a hold of everybody.
Okay.
But yeah, I essentially give them a call, let them know I'm calling on behalf of the mayor's office in reference to the Bribes Act.
Yep.
And that we are conducting an audit of every business that has received grants.
Love it.
Now, when it comes to statute of limitations, I know it's a gray area. Grayson's talked about, and Danielson's talked about, like the potential of like delayed notice. So I don't exactly know where the statute of
Um,
limitations lands with all this, if
I-
it's only things within the past 30 or if delayed discovery does work.
there's a lot of nuances to that, which I'm not going to get too deep into, but you know,
It's situational based on each and every grant and the
Mhm.
terms listed within the grant.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that it was either again Danielson or Grayson at the legislative meeting. Say, okay, you were there, weren't you?
Mhm.
I swear I asked at the meeting in regards to statute of limitations, and they said that there's a chance that, you know, them, and this might have been after the meeting. I don't remember if I said it in the meeting or afterwards, but if I gave somebody a grant for $1 million, they said they were gonna, you know, spend it on an event this weekend, and they still have it after this weekend. Each day is technically them still not using it, which increases that
Yeah.
statute of limitations. But
It's
yeah, I know it's
actively
case
being
by case.
embezzled.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way we saw it, like, for example, if somebody puts a grant in to buy an airplane, well, you can, as soon as you get the money, you can just go down there and buy an airplane. So if you haven't
Mhm.
bought that airplane within 2 weeks, there's a reasonableness standard of being like, you've had plenty of time to go buy the airplane. There's nothing prohibiting you. But
Yeah.
if somebody gets a grant for acquiring a property and say they don't have a contract pending, they're just like, we just want this money to help go towards our bid to try and acquire property.
Mhm.
And they can put on paper that they've tried to bid on properties, that they've tried to acquire one, and they just haven't been able to because they're getting outbid or people are paying more beyond them. They're not, in our opinion, they're not embezzling because they're actively taking steps to try and get it. They're just not able to because of other things preventing it, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally get where you're coming from. And let's say they could have bought the plane and didn't, but they also didn't
Mhm.
spend the money.
yeah.
It's actively being embezzled. If
And
there's a
then
reasonableness, like if they
Mhm.
had all the opportunity in the world to go buy one, we know that plane's been in stock at LSIA for 2 weeks. They've had
Yep.
the money for 2 weeks. Why haven't they gone down there to take it?
Okay. And I guess that's maybe where Pred's going with it. Even if they return the funds, they still technically embezzled, I guess is what he's getting at. So
Yeah.
what I'll do is I'll just keep note of everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'll have the bank records and the transactions and stuff ready. So if and when I have to stop here in a week, I can just turn it over to you guys, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask before you turn anything over. I need to ask a pretty critical question, and this is not
Mhm.
like investigative. This is more like I need to know authoritative wise. Under what authority were you acting
The Bribes
when?
Act.
No, I mean, like, were you acting on behalf of the Los Santos County's mayor's office? Were you acting on
mm,
behalf of Charles Danger? Were you
The
acting on
mayor's
behalf of the
office.
cabinet, the mayor's office in general? And
Yeah,
was it like
I'm in
a
the
civil
cabinet.
contractor or a direct hire
I
or like
am
as a private
hired as
investigator?
per what Charles said, I was hired as the financial auditor within his cabinet.
Okay, so you're an actual cabinet member under
Charles
a direct
Danger.
entitlement.
Yeah,
Okay.
previously Charles Danger.
yeah. I want to also sort of set the tone here. Is
Mhm.
that, and this is what I tell everyone, right? Whether it's me, whether it's a judge, there's opinions, right? And so when you do hear, like, and that's why I kind of stray away from giving direct opinions on case to case basis,
Sure.
is because without everything in front of us and without the specificities of a particular whatever it is we're looking at, we can't really know what is and what is not, right?
Yeah,
And so
I get you.
whether it's, this charge or that charge, or was there wrongdoing, was there not wrongdoing, those are things that have to sort of be analyzed, right?
Mhm.
So and I don't want to speak on behalf of the DOJ, but it does sometimes happen where an opinion is given, but an opinion is in the moment, right? And is
Yeah,
so
opinion's not necessarily fact.
exactly that. Yeah, right. The second question I've got is, because I'm uncertain of this as well. Are you? Is the mayor's? This may have been stated in the announcement by the DOJ, but is
We're
The
continuing
cabinet
until the
still-
election.
Okay,
Yeah.
and this has been
the-
stated by the
Yeah,
DOJ?
Grayson, Danielson, yeah.
Okay, all right. So every position that's currently there is still active,
Correct.
right?
And I believe
Okay.
they may try to work with the deputy mayors to get access to being able to do stuff the mayor was able to do, because there's certain things they can't do, but just so the city can still run, but I'm not sure about that. It's above my pay grade.
Yeah. Okay,
Makes
that
sense, honestly.
yeah. I just want to make sure that there was a decision made on it, because right.
Yeah, I made sure of it before I continued because of
Okay.
Hearing the news. So
And the information that you're getting, is this like documented?
you're talking about from the audits?
Correct. So
Yeah.
say you went to like, and how is that recording done? Or is it like a forum that they fill? Do they text it to you? Like, in other words, what I'm trying to, like, how is this like, how is this, these transactions happening? How is,
Yeah,
like,
so essentially I'll give them a call.
Mhm.
I'll tell them that I need the bank transactions, and then I send them a follow-up text saying exactly what we talked about, that they're being audited, this business for this time frame. Please send a bank record. You have 3 days. So I send that follow-up text stating exactly that. Then most people will just send their bank transactions. There have been some that had like situations come up where they said they had a verbal conversation with the mayor, and that's why this is this way, that is that way, sort of thing. So I said, okay, just text me all of that then. I'm not, here to make a determination on that. I'm just here to make sure 1 + 1 = 2, and then if it doesn't, somebody else can kind of look into that and see if there's wrongdoing or fraud or anything like that.
okay. I got
Or
you.
So for the example I was giving, there was an individual that still had $6 million in a business. They recently closed the business due to a change in the economy that made their business not necessary anymore. And they said they had a verbal conversation with the mayor that said they can just use that money for a different business. So there's no record of it other than them just saying it. So I had them text it to me, but again, it's just kind of hearsay.
Understood. The reason I asked that question is, having some kind of formalized way, how people submit these things is probably good. No, I don't want to sort of weigh in too heavily on how you're doing it today. Just, this is sort of precautionary, right? So say I'm a business and I own, Michael's apple stand, looking at apples right now in this, or what is that? Apples and oranges, right? And you come to me and you say, hey, I need to audit you. Give me, right? Unless it's documented how you did that, it's good to have that interaction documented. When the request was made, when the request was responded, how it was delivered, right? And so did they give you did they just give you their full, transaction logs, right? Did they give you pictures of it, right?
Oh, no,
all
I'm
of these
requesting
things.
the bank thing every single time.
Okay.
The bank transaction export link.
Oh, they're exporting
They're
it
giving
out?
me their actual bank records. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Interesting. And are they aware you're giving us these things?
No. I mean, I do tell them it is in accordance with the Bribes Act. It does state that any misuse of funds results in repayment and potential legal action. So
Okay.
the Bribes Act does state that I wouldn't be pushing legal action. I'm not a cop. So
yeah, the reason I'm asking these questions, right, is I'm obviously interested. I think we would be interested in that information. But I'm asking this because I want to ensure that the delivery of that stuff, there's no wrongdoing in it. So
I've been told by Grayson it is fine for me to give you, LSPD, whoever, like the officers are, the
absolutely.
information.
And I'm not going to say no. I just want to have a bit of a conversation in regards to it, just to, for your sake, our sake, and whatnot. And okay.
Yeah, that's completely fine.
May I sort of direct the conversation slightly different?
Sure.
Have you spoken to Quantum recently?
I've tried to, but he won't return my calls.
Okay. Could you explain what happened from your perspective in regards to that?
Are you referring to something specific or just
Yeah,
me
like
reaching out to him?
regarding his grants.
I texted him today and did this thing. I tried to call him multiple times because he was around, but he wouldn't answer. So then I just texted him, letting him know that we were going to be auditing him. Do you want me to read it verbatim or just send it to you?
Up to you.
I've sent it to Coyote already.
Okay.
But yeah, I essentially just
today or yesterday? Was this yesterday?
No, this is 6 hours ago.
So wait, Coyote was on duty 6 hours ago?
No, but I've been working with him on this, so I just
Oh,
I believe I texted it to him.
I got
It
you.
might have been a different one. Let me take a look.
When you say
I texted
on
him
this,
one
you
of them.
mean just the auditing stuff, right?
Yeah, auditing.
I
in
got
general.
you. Okay.
I owed him a favor. Yeah, I texted him today 6 hours ago with that
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I just let him know that we were auditing both his businesses.
Quantum, right?
Quantum Quality and Quantum Enterprises.
Mhm.
And yeah, the same thing. We were requesting bank transactions for specific dates, 3 days to comply, or to be put on the docket. Specified the dates one more time, and then let him know if he needs any further clarification. He can talk to Grayson or refer to the Bribes Act.
And he just didn't respond?
Yeah, no, he's just been ghosting me.
I see. Could you read that one more time for me, if
The whole
with
thing?
your permission? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's on recording, but I want to.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Quantum, you are hereby being audited by the Los Santos Mayor's Office in accordance with the Bribes Act. You are to send an export link of your bank transactions for Quantum Quality from September 9th, 2025 to present. You have 3 days, 72 hours to comply. If you do not comply, we will be forced to place this on the docket in accordance with the Bribes Act. We are also requesting a bank export link for Quantum Enterprises from October 11th, 2025 to present as well. And then I said the same thing. You have 3 days to comply. If you don't, we'll be forced to place this on the docket in accordance with the Bribes Act. Again, those dates are September 9th, 2025 for Quantum Quality and October 11th, 2025 for Quantum Enterprises. We look forward to your cooperation. If you need any further clarification, please refer to the Bribes Act legislation or contact Justice Grayson.
Okay. And then Grayson, I'm presuming, is the point of contact for communications on this topic, or where does Grayson
so he's the
fall
one
into
that
it?
when I reached out to him specifying like what I can do within this, what if we're still able to work while the like new election's pending, and just basically how to go about it. He's the one that kind of gave that guidance initially.
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
So we reach out to them, request it. If they don't, since we do have clawback within the Bribes Act, if they don't, cooperate, then we would just put it on the civil docket for the records to be requested that way. And it's technically in violation of the Bribes Act for them not cooperating as well. So
understood. Is this the only correspondence you've had with Quantum on this matter?
Yeah.
And was it just this particular event, or was there like a previous? Was it just today that this correspondence happened, or?
Yeah. In regards to his audit, it was just today.
Okay. Did you call him at all?
Yeah, multiple times.
And he didn't pick up?
Correct.
Okay.
Last storm and this storm.
Do you know anything about buying votes?
Yeah, I talked to Coyote about that as well.
Okay. I think I do see there's probably well, I assume that was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not aware of this just yet, but if you don't mind,
sure, I can
sort
go over
of. Yep.
So I was auditing Finley Schmidt, who received a $1 million grant. Let me pull it up. Sorry, she has a lot of grants. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right one. All right. So on October 4th, 2025, Finley Schmidt requested a $1 million grant for her business, the Green Light District. In this grant, it states a lot of significant information about the Green Light District. So there's no way that it could have been for a different business on accident. When I reached out to her initially, she was confused, saying that that was supposed to be $800,000 for Paradise, which admittedly I hadn't looked into Paradise at this point, so I wasn't like privy to any grants of that amount or for that business. But I reassured her that no, this grant was submitted for Green Light District. It repeats Green Light District here multiple times, and she's said she was not aware of it, but she would look through the bank transactions and get back to me. She then sent me a text, which here I can just share it with you. I have it in a document. Actually, that's not the first text. Let me get the actual text out.
It's fine. You could read it for the time being.
Yeah, I'll read it. Yeah. There was also the proposal in there, which I couldn't access. It was restricted, so I said that I needed access to it, and she said, well, she didn't make the proposal, so she couldn't have it. So I sent it to her. She did have access to it, and that's when she stated that Quinton submitted this on her behalf, and she did not submit the grant. He put in all her information and submitted the grant for her.
For all of her grants, or just
no, for
this
this
particular
specific
one?
one at least.
When was that grant
October
requested?
4th, 2025.
Okay, so exactly 2 months ago.
Exactly 2 months ago, yeah.
And that, okay.
And
so she knew nothing about it?
That is what she said initially.
And do you know where that did it go to the Green Light District?
Yes, it did. Well, okay. I don't have access to the bank records on like what was sent, everything.
Sure.
Like, but
So
I do have her bank
presuming
records.
it did.
Yeah, and I do have her bank records, I believe, so I could check that. So we ended the call, that initial call, and I told her, per our conversation, I'm requesting bank records from October 4th, showing the relevant transactions relating to your grant for the Green Light District in accordance with the Bribes Act. That's convenient. You have 3 days, 72 hours to provide these documents. Please call or text if you have any questions. Then she said, hi, I just spoke to a justice, which I'm now understanding, I believe was Danielson. This Danielson talked to me, or I made a comment and he said, are you talking about Finley? So I'm assuming that Danielson already knows about it. And so, hi, I just spoke with a justice and I got access to the document, which is the first time ever seeing it. I can send the transaction of that day, but there's only 2 with no outgoing. I didn't request the money, nor do I need the money for what was requested on the document, and I can send the money back. But I can give you more info if you want to call me. So I did call her, and this is when she stated that this was around the time that Quinton was campaigning, and he said that he'd give her $1 million for votes, essentially. And instead of giving her the $1 million, he just submitted a grant on her behalf and put the $1 million into her business account.
This is
what Finley told me on the phone.
What? Okay.
From there,
has there been any verification of? I think I have access
Yeah, I can't
Um,
see who submitted the grants, unfortunately. I can just see the name that's written, which I could submit grants on your behalf right
so
now
the
if I wanted to.
name was submitted by,
Finley Schmidt, it says.
okay, but you're unsure who actually submitted it?
Correct. Because for her, she's saying that she never submitted that, and that is something that Quinton
May
submitted.
I take a look at that document?
Yeah, I can email it to you. Now, that's a document I was giving. If that's the original, I can't necessarily say that, but that's what I was given by the deputy mayor. I can get an updated one if it's just a copy. I'm not sure.
Okay. Can you point me to
Line 344.
okay, and does Quantum have access to this document?
I believe so, because I think he used to approve these in the past, but I don't know. I don't know who all has access to this.
Okay, I see. I'm sort of taking a look here. If you could also give a copy to Springfield here.
Sure. I'm gonna put on a note here for you.
Has this bank account number been verified to be Green Light District?
It is the one that's on the rest of. I don't have access to the business app like mayors and maybe deputy mayors do. It is the one that's on the remainder of her proposals for Green Light District. But one thing I asked and verified is you can see who gave the money from the grant. So I guess if you in the bank records, it should show who paid out the grant at least. So that could be also something that points to him. Still circumstantial, but did you get that, Springfield?
Yes, I'm opening it now.
Okay.
Interesting.
I did try to reach out to the previous mayor to see if he could
And it
assist,
appears the
but, I never
document
got a response.
is locked.
Okay.
Have you seen it? Have you noticed that?
Well, no, because I have access, so I was granted access.
Of
Would I be able
the
to see who has
Gurgle
access?
doc?
Yeah.
What document's locked?
On column W.
Oh, you mean that column
Yeah.
specifically locked?
That submitted document is not accessible.
Oh yeah, that's what I was referring to. And that's what
You can see that?
Yeah. So I can't, I don't have access to it. That's what I initially told her. I was like, hey, I don't have access to this. I also need you to give me access. And that's when she said, I did not make that. So again, in the text that she sent, she said, where is it? She texted me a lot.
Which row are we looking at specifically in that?
344. Let's see. So she said, I also just got access to this document, which is the first time ever seeing it.
Okay.
So she's saying that Quantum also created the document for that proposal.
Okay. Interesting. Did you see who's sent the money? Like, who sent Finley this money? Did you? That's something
I
that's
have
been
not yet, but hold on. Let me see. No, she sent me the picture of the transaction, but not the bank account yet. And she said that she will send it today. That was 19 hours ago.
Is there any evidence of beyond her statement? This was Quantum approached or
the
Quinton
only
approached
way that, at minimum, the only thing that other than her statement would be the submission of the grant request, if there's any way to track it back to him as opposed to her, which I don't know that we have access to. I would assume whoever created the forms would be the only one potentially to have that. But yeah, that would be the only thing otherwise linking him to it, aside from paying out the loan, or not loan, sorry, the grant. But if he was already doing that otherwise, then it doesn't really hold any water.
Okay.
And she could be lying about all of it as well, so I have no idea.
Has the conversation about Quintum and votes come up outside of this particular incident?
Not with me, at least, no.
Okay. Are you a member of HabibMC?
Yes, I am the treasurer for the HabibMC.
Okay.
I help with their finances from time to time. But
has there ever been a conversation between you and Quantum in regards to voting for him?
He did reach out to me wanting to know what he can do to secure votes. And he came and talked to Ray.
Mm-hmm. And what came of that conversation?
He explained that he's going to continue to do what the previous mayors are doing with helping around the city with grants, funding, blah, blah, blah.
Was that recent?
That would have been when he was campaigning, so before the election.
I see. Was there any discussion about money being exchanged for votes?
Not with me directly, not to my knowledge.
I see. So he never approached you, or you didn't approach him about buying votes?
He approached us. About buying votes, no. He approached us asking what he can do to like make sure we vote for him, like what we need from a mayor, essentially.
I see. But he never brought up the idea of providing money for that.
The only way was just continuing to do what he does with grants and whatnot, not necessarily like.
What does that mean? Could you elaborate?
Like
because I know in this particular case, like Finley Schmidt.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah.
What was his role? Was there an inference that he was the handler of these grants?
He did say that he helps out with the grants and funding events and businesses and stuff like that. So he would continue to do so. So if there was any businesses we needed to get off the ground, if there was any events we needed to ran, he would be still willing to help us out with those, essentially. Now, I don't know if he was meaning it in the Finley Schmidt kind of way, like he did there, or potentially did there. But I assume that it's just the same promise that every mayor makes, that they'll continue funding businesses and events and all that with the grants and subsidies.
Do you know what his role was prior to your cabinet?
I do not.
Springfield?
I was just going to say, just for information, it looks like whoever approved the grant viewed the document, so they had access to it. I'm trying to pull who approved the grant because they had in the actual transaction where they sent the money, there's a screenshot from the document.
Yeah.
Just so you can see that. Direct.
Yeah, I do have the. Oh, I didn't even see the screenshot, but I did see the link to the doc.
Yeah, the document was linked, but there's also a link to a screenshot.
That might
from
just
the document.
be the. That's also in our document as well. like our the one I linked you. It's in there too.
Oh, is that just a copy from your sheet?
Yeah, it could be from that sheet, so I'm not sure. Now it could be in that document as well. I'm not 100% sure. But just so I'm not looking like I'm trying to witch hunt, that is also in our document.
When was the last election?
I don't know the exact date.
Oh my God.
Okay, so Rozelle's the one that approved it and submitted it.
What do you mean by that? Like he's the one that sent the money?
Yeah, he's the one that actually initiated the transfer.
Okay. But when you say submitted it, you don't mean submitted the grant paperwork, just to be clear, right?
No,
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
yeah,
I
I'm
just wanted
just
to
meaning
clarify.
he's the one that executed the transfer of money from the accounts to the accounts, from 10 to Finley.
Is that something
Well, more-
only the mayor and deputy mayor can do?
It should be anyone who has the executive access on account 10.
Oh, but I assume somebody just in the cabinet wouldn't have that, right?
Great question.
That's yeah, it's hard to say. Okay. Interesting. Anything else you have questions of him? I think we got some things to kind of look at.
Let me take a look. The only other like oversight that I saw, and this was mainly just in the Bribes Act itself, and I don't know if it's just something we just turn a blind eye to and just say that's just not how it is, so it is what it is. In Article 4 for event subsidies, Section C, it does state any events over 100,000 require presentation to the Chamber of Commerce, which we don't have. So I'm unsure if that means that any event that is over 100,000 isn't legitimate or is technically illegal, which would mean going, I guess, after the people who approved it, which would be the mayors. So I don't know if that applies or if that's just too big of a rabbit hole to jump down.
Okay. Understood. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. We're going to end the recording here at 6:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time there, Marlo. We'll be in touch, but like I said, we're here to work with, both departments. I know there's a little bit of a odd tug of war that's happening with Pred. I don't really... look, at the end of the day, this is everyone's problem, right? And just want to make sure things are done right. All
right, well, y'all take it easy.
Yeah. If you wouldn't mind, for everyone's sake, if you could coordinate with us and we coordinate down, that's probably ideal. My biggest concern is 20 different people work on the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And Springfield being the best point of contact, she's kind of the head of the financial stuff, and she's very good with ensuring that local law enforcement's involved, our marshals are involved, etc., just so there isn't any information loss, or in a worst case scenario, right, someone spins up their own thing over here and then no one knows about it, and now all of a sudden there's a road violation and someone runs off with millions, right?
Sure thing.
So
all right
sounds
good.
Thank you so much. Yep, you take care. Oh my God.
Carmine came to the office
Yeah. Wait, when?
right before I came up here,
Mm-hmm.
wanting to. Well, he was wanting to get his car out of the back lot, but then he pulled me aside and he was like, "So, anything regarding these business grants, we should be handling this. Y'all need to make sure y'all are letting us handle these investigations." I was like, "No, I mean we have our own investigations going on. I don't mind letting you know which ones we have